I want you to take a look at something interesting that I noticed. This is a video of young South African footballer Jaden Adams. Keep in mind, this boy was only born in 2001, so he's fairly young when this game is happening. I want you to notice his demeanor. I want you to notice something that probably the person who was even taking the video couldn't notice. Here we have a video of Jaden Adams seemingly sitting alone. Now, because we unfortunately have hindsight at the moment, we know that only a few weeks later, tragedy would strike. However, at the moment of taking this video, the person couldn't have known what Jaden Adams was going through. Because without hindsight, a video like this just seems normal. Take a look at another video. Here we have South Africa celebrating after they recently won one of their games in the World Cup. It seems like everybody is pretty much in high spirits. Everybody's celebrating, making noise, jumping on tables, jumping on benches, except for one person. A moment you would imagine is significant for the entire team, the entire management, all the staff. One person is sitting down in solitude, seemingly not joining the team in their celebration. Again, because of hindsight, we now know some of the signs that pointed to what would unfortunately happen a few weeks later to Jaden Adams. In fact, this tweet would say Jaden Adams was going through something serious in his life. This was the South African players celebrating their win against South Korea. Meanwhile, he's just sitting there quietly by himself. And this tweet would gain 29,000 views and be viewed by over 4.7 million people. But little did anybody know in that room that just a few weeks later, on the 11th of July 2026, one of their stars would unfortunately pass
As South African football has been rocked by the sudden passing of promising Bafana Bafana and Mamelodi Sundowns talent Jaden Adams. The midfielder, who recently represented the country at the FIFA World Cup in the Americas, showcasing his talents on football's biggest stage, was just 25 years old. His passing was confirmed by the South African Football Association, but the cause of his death has not yet been made public.
Many of us might have not known that on this day, two tragedies would strike in South Africa, where we should be celebrating, especially the players of Bafana Bafana, celebrating how well they did overseas, even though we got knocked out, but how they represented the country. Every single player should have been at pretty much their happiest. They had shown what South African talent could bring. But on the 11th of July, things would change, because not only would Jaden Adams pass away, but also the former South African under-18 rugby player Ulukubo would also tragically pass away on this day.
With your mouth. Things going down, we go south. We go south. There's a lady, her name Felicia. Felicia. She's very hot. Ouya she's. 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 You talk a lot of nonsense with your mouth. With your mouth. Things going down, we go south. We go south. There's a lady, her name Felicia. Felicia. Ouya she's. 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 Ouya she's.
I mean, this is pretty tragic news, but many of us might have not guessed that on this day an enigma would be born, because people would now start doing what they didn't do previously, which is combing through Jaden's old posts, trying to figure out some clues and some context that would help us understand why exactly what happened that day happened. And what I found was quite honestly shocking. I mean, here on another video, we have Jaden Adams being stopped and interviewed by one of SAB's reporters. And one thing that stands out to me in this video is how meek and down to earth Jaden is.
Yeah, bring Ozzy also. Gents, congratulations on that point for Bafana. We still alive going into the game against South Korea. Just how did you see the game?
I think it was very positive for us. We started a bit sloppy, but as the game grew, we find our feet and played the ball around. And I think the second half we came out with everything. We started getting tired, and yeah, that's where we created our chances.
Ozzy, how did you cope with the physicality of that match?
Jaden Adams, Ozzy Police.
How did you cope, Ozzy?
Now, we don't know at this point whether or not he's going through something, but he would quickly ask Oswin Hollis, which is one of his friends, to join him in the interview because maybe he couldn't do it alone. In fact, this wouldn't be the last video we'd see of the duo because it seemed like during the World Cup, they were genuinely in high spirits. More videos would be posted on social media proving this point.
Baby, I ain't hurting, baby.
Jesus in the house, yo.
Yeah.
Here's up for this.
I think that you should let it burn.
As you would probably imagine, no group of people are besides themselves at this point, like Jaden Adams' family, as well as his closest friend, Oswin Hollis.
Soos julle weet, is dit net 'n skielike dood en die familie vat dit swaar om dit te verwerk en het gaat niet makkelijk wees om aan te gaan nie, maar alles seer gaat as makkelijker, dat raak makkelijker, dat raak nie makkelijker nie. Sy leer net om met dit te deel. So ons kyk maar vir die tyd vorentoe.
But everybody's pretty much asking, why did this happen? What would cause this young man to leave us in the manner he did? Was it something personal that he might have been going through? Was it something external that he pretty much had no control over? Everybody's been scratching their heads trying to comb through past videos to pretty much figure out why exactly what happened on the 11th of July happened. Everybody is besides themselves asking the same question. I mean, people would start posting on the internet, one saying, so you're telling me we will no longer have this duel anymore, getting 3.3 thousand likes, and others posting old videos of Jaden Adams talking about his love for soccer and the beautiful game.
I started playing football at the age of 5. The most important people in my life growing up is my parents, because they were there every single day, encouraging me, giving me advice to go to training, go to school. Sometimes I don't want to, but I must go.
One post would also say, this is how we choose to remember Jaden Adams, getting 1.4 thousand likes. And another post saying, one thing about him, he really did love his wife. I hope she's okay wherever she is, gaining 15,000 likes. But another comment would put everything in perspective and really make us wonder how shocking the situation is, because it would say it's pretty shocking that a guy who played at this World Cup has passed away while the tournament is still on. I mean, that's pretty much how visceral this entire situation is. That's pretty much how shocking the Jaden Adams case is. Because truthfully, while these players should be enjoying their time, they should be enjoying the money they've made, they should be enjoying time with their family members as well as their friends, it's tragic to find out that one of them had been going through what he was going through. A quick Google search of what exactly happened to Jaden Adams does not give definitive answers as to why exactly he passed away, what exactly caused this. It says he was found unalive at a property in Kloof, Cape Town, just weeks after representing Bafana Bafana at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. At the moment, the cause as to why he passed away has still not yet been determined and is under investigation. And of course, the family is still struggling to process this untimely loss. This is why people are doing what they're doing, going past old footage to try and maybe figure out what exactly happened to the young talent. But I'm not gonna lie, the videos we've seen so far, quite honestly shocking. Because as I've been saying, at the moment, you'd have never guessed that Jaden is probably going through something. You would have never guessed that he might have been alone. But because we're on the other side and we have something called hindsight, we look at these videos a little bit differently. They hold different meaning. They hold different weight. And you obviously have people asking themselves the age-old question. If they had noticed, if they had taken the time to sit down to talk with him, then maybe we wouldn't have what happened on the 11th of July. But unfortunately, because of hindsight, the truth of the matter is, we'll never know.